cranberry lemonade concentrate makes this lovely lemonade that is tart but sweet and so refreshing on a hot day. And look at that color, it's so pretty. My first step is to measure out 8 cups of sugar and 16 cups of cranberries. I'll put these cranberries in a large pot. I'm actually using frozen ones today, but you could use fresh ones as well. I just like to pick up a lot of them around the end of Thanksgiving time. I can usually get a good deal for them, and then I just put them in my freezer until I feel like making this. And then I'll add about 1/4 of the sugar that I've measured out already on top of those cranberries. And I'll place it on the stove on medium to low heat until those cranberries get nice and soft. They actually soften up a little bit faster when they've been frozen because the freezing process breaks down those cells a little bit. As the cranberries begin to soften, I start to press them against the side just to kind of help them break down a little bit. As I really want them soft and open, I want them to give as much of their juice as I can. Now that the cranberries are nice and soft, I'll add the rest of my sugar. And then I'll bring it back up to a boil. So that was 8 cups total of sugar. It helps. You know, the cranberries and the lemon, they're so sour and a little bit bitter in the case of the cranberry, and so it's really necessary that you have something to offset that to make it a pleasant drink. This is one even my kids enjoy. Now that it's gotten nice and hot, I'll take it off the stove. My next step is to strain out all of the skin and the majority of the seeds. Some of them will come through, but they're actually kind of cute. And I like to do my honey strainer for this. The bottom one is a little bit too fine, but the top one is a little bit coarser strainer, and so it'll allow more of that pulp to go through and the occasional seed, but the rest will be kept behind. And this one just happens to perfectly fit over the top of this pan, so that's great. So then I'll pour a portion of this in there, probably about 1/4 of it, because I need some room to work with this. I'll use my silicone spatula to just press that pulp and that syrup through the strainer. And you can feel the cranberries just kind of pop right underneath it. You can see how jello-y it looks in the beginning here, but over time it'll get so that there's hardly any of the liquid left. It does take a little bit of time though, and this is kind of a big batch. I find if I take time to occasionally just clear the screen and then press it all through again and kind of push it all flat, then it seems like it works a little bit more efficiently. Then before I empty out my scraps that are in the top there, I'll lift this up and I'll scrape any of that good pulp off of the bottom because I don't want it to spill while I'm going over to my chicken bucket. And there's so much good pulp here. And then I'll scrape this out and start over again. And I'll do that like another 3 more times. I just do them in little bits. Otherwise it's kind of overwhelming for the honey strainer. Now that I've got all of my syrup separated from the skins, I'll add 4 cups worth of lemon juice. I'll then place this on the stove and bring it to a nice simmer. Now I'll fill up my pint-sized jars to 1/4 of an inch of headspace. It's actually so pretty with those little seeds floating in there. I never would have thought that I'd appreciate the cranberry seeds so much. It doesn't bother me when I'm drinking it either. It's kind of reminiscent of the strawberry seeds. As I get to the end, I switch over to a spatula. This just does such a good job of getting the leftovers off. Now I'll use a clean, damp cloth to wipe off the rim of my jars, and that just makes it so that if any food stuff got on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. And then I'll place the lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. Next, I'll process these in the boiling water bath for 15 minutes at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll do it for 20, but I won't start the timer until after it comes to a boil. Now that the timer's gone off, I'll turn off the heat, remove the lid, and give it 5 minutes to cool down. So then I'll pull them out of the boiling water bath and put them on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart. This just makes it so that they can cool down a little bit faster. And then I'll leave them there for 24 hours so that they can get a nice seal. After that, I'll remove the ring and wash them with hot soapy water. Then I'll store them in a cool, dry, dark location like my pantry for the next 1 to 3 years. I can tell that they have a good seal if the center of the lid is depressed down. If it's not, then I'll store them in my refrigerator and use them immediately. In order to make the lemonade, I'll combine 1 whole pint-sized jar with 1/2 gallon or 8 cups of water. In this case, I'm going to show you what it would be like for a single serving because I have just 1/4 of a jar. So I'm going to pour that over ice. You don't have to pour it over ice, but I like it better a little bit cold. And then I would add 1 pint, which is 1/4 of a 1/2 gallon. Then I'll just mix it together well, and it is ready to go. Oh, so good. Kind of tart, but sweet at the same time, just the way a lemonade should be.